I was so excited to finally share the good news with my alpha husband. The moment I saw him, I ran forward and threw my arms around him. "Alex, I'm pregnant," I said, my voice trembling with happiness. "I'm so happy. You're happy too, right?" His body stiffened. "Pregnant?" he repeated, his expression darkening. "That can't be. How dare you conceive a baby with someone else and tell me that child is mine? How dare you cheat on me?" I froze, my heart dropping. "What are you talking about, Alex? This child is yours." "I didn't cheat on you," I said, shocked and hurt. "How can you say something like that about me?" "Then explain it," he shouted, anger blazing in his eyes. "How can you be pregnant when I can't produce a child? How is that possible?" "What do you mean you can't produce a child?" I asked, my voice shaking as tears gathered in my eyes. "We're married. We've shared a bed so many times. Why can't I be pregnant with your child, Alex?" He looked away, jaw clenched. "Because I had a vasectomy," he finally said coldly. "That's why you can't be pregnant with my child." The world tilted beneath my feet. "What, a vasectomy? What are you talking about?" I grabbed his collar, desperately searching his eyes for any sign this was a cruel joke. For a moment he couldn't even meet my gaze. Then, in a low voice, he began to speak. "You know, my elder brother and sister-in-law died in that accident. They're children. I wanted to raise them as my own. I didn't want any future conflict over inheritance or bloodlines. So, before we got married, I had the surgery, with the help of Lucian, my friend's brother. My knees weakened. My world shattered in a single heartbeat, and I collapsed to the floor. You should have told me," I whispered, my voice breaking. "Do you really think I would give birth just to fight over property with your brother's children? And how are you so sure nothing went wrong with your surgery?" I pressed a hand to my stomach. "I only slept with you. This child is yours." Tears streamed down my face. "I didn't cheat on you, Alex. Why won't you believe me? Please just check again. Maybe there was a problem with the surgery. I swear, I didn't betray you." But he only looked at me with cold fury. "How dare you lie to me?" he said. "Do you know the consequences of deceiving me like this?" "I didn't cheat on you," I begged, but my words fell uselessly to the ground between us. Then he spoke the words that broke me completely. "Abort the child." I stared at him in disbelief. "What are you saying? This child is ours. I will not abort my baby." His gaze hardened. "Then leave. I don't want that filth in my house." The word stabbed through my heart. "Filth?" My voice cracked. "How can you call your own child that?" "I warned you," he said coldly. "Abort it. Or leave." Silence filled the room. Pain burned in my chest, but somewhere inside me, strength rose too. "Fine," I whispered. "If you refuse to believe me, then I won't stay here either. But remember this, Alex. One day you will regret it." I wiped my tears. "You think you have a valid reason. You think you're right. But the truth will come out. And when it does, you'll regret trusting Lucian over your own spouse." Without another word, I turned and walked out of Alex's house, with nothing but my unborn child and my broken heart. Leaving Alex's house, I had nowhere else to go except my mother's home. Other than Alex, she was the only person I could still call family. The house she lived in now was the one Alex had bought for her, so I wouldn't worry about her being alone. I stood at the door and knocked softly. When my mother opened it and saw me standing there, she immediately hugged me tightly. "Noah, what are you doing here, child? Did you miss your mother so much that you came at night?" She laughed gently, then looked behind me. "Where is Alex? Didn't he come with you?" She kept glancing toward the doorway as if expecting him to appear at any moment. Seeing her like that, my chest tightened, and I burst into tears. My mother quickly held me closer, stroking my back to calm me. "Why are you crying, sweetheart? Did Alex do something to you? Tell me. I will call him right now." She reached for her phone, worry clouding her face, but I grabbed her hand to stop her. "It's nothing like that, Mom," I lied softly. "I just missed you. After seeing you, I became emotional, that's all. Alex didn't do anything. I just want to stay with you for a while." I couldn't tell her the truth. Not about the vasectomy, not about the accusations. My mother had raised me alone ever since my father passed away. She had already suffered enough. She came from a humble background, but she had fallen deeply in love with my wealthy father and married him despite his family's disapproval. After my father died from illness, his family abandoned us with nothing. My mother struggled through endless hardship just to raise me. So when she first heard about Alex, she didn't approve of our relationship. But eventually, after seeing how kind and devoted he appeared, she finally gave us her blessing, and I married him 3 months later. Because of that, I couldn't shatter her heart with the truth. That evening, she prepared many dishes for me, as if I had been starving for weeks. We sat together at the dinner table, the warm light washing over us. In the middle of the meal, I gathered my courage. "Mom, I'm pregnant," I said quietly. Her eyes widened, then filled with joy. "My child, you are going to be a father now," she said proudly, squeezing my hand. "Just make sure you take good care of yourself and the baby." She paused. "Have you told Alex yet?" I forced a smile. "No, I want to surprise him. So please don't contact him about it yet. Okay?" She nodded gently and held my hand. Her touch was the warmest thing in my world. That night, even though I lay in bed, I couldn't sleep. My mind kept replaying Alex's words, his anger, the way he looked at me as if I were a stranger. Then, suddenly, I heard the sound of a car outside. I rushed to the window, and my heart clenched. It was Alex's car. I hurried outside, hope rising inside me. But by the time I reached the gate, the car was already gone, swallowed by the night. And I stood there under the dark sky, alone, wondering if he had come to see me, or simply to make sure I had really left his life. The next morning, after finally drifting into a restless sleep, I woke up and decided I needed to confirm my pregnancy properly. Until now, I had only tested with a home kit. After breakfast, I told my mother gently, "Mom, I'm going for a checkup at the hospital." She immediately tried to come with me, worry appearing on her face. But I smiled and shook my head. "You don't have to worry. I'll be back soon. Just make something tasty for me. Okay?" I kissed her forehead and left, completely unaware that I was about to meet the last person I ever wanted to see. The checkup went smoothly. When the doctor returned, she smiled warmly. "Congratulations. You're 2 months pregnant." 2 months. I rested a hand over my stomach, overwhelmed. Happiness and pain tangled together inside me. My child was real, growing, alive. Yet his father didn't even want him. With a heavy heart, I stepped out of the consultation room, and that was when I collided with someone in the corridor. The files slipped from my hands, scattering across the floor. I bent to pick them up, but another hand reached faster. Lucian, the very man who had supposedly performed Alex's vasectomy. He picked up my medical report, the one I least wanted him to see. A mocking smile curved across his lips. Well, look who it is. Mr. Noah, Alex Everfall's husband." I stood slowly, gathering the remaining papers, trying to maintain my composure. "What are you doing here?" he asked me, mocking. "Are you here for a checkup?" He tilted his head, fake concern filling his voice. "I am a doctor, Noah. Why don't I take a look at your report?" I reached to take it back, but he moved it just out of reach and began reading. His lips curled further. "Oh, you're pregnant. Congratulations." He said the words politely, but I could hear it, the pretense, the disgust, the jealousy. He handed the paper back, holding my hand just a moment too long, as though he were mocking me. "But tell me," he continued softly, "how did you become pregnant when Alex had a vasectomy? Unless..." His eyes gleamed. "You cheated on him?" Once, those words would have shattered me. But now, after everything, I simply stood my ground. Before I could respond, Lucian leaned closer, lowering his voice so only I could hear. "Silly Noah, I already know this child is Alex's, because he never had the surgery." My breath caught. "What?" A satisfied smile crept across his face. "It was all my doing. I made Alex believe he'd had the operation, but he never did. Otherwise, tell me, how would I ever hope to carry his child one day?" My hands curled into fists. He continued, voice cold. "Now that you're pregnant, Alex will think you cheated. He'll leave you, and everything will go exactly as I planned. Anger burned through me. Why did you do this, Lucian? I asked through clenched teeth. He looked almost amused. Isn't it obvious? Alex is the sole heir of Everfall Enterprises. Whoever marries him, whoever bears his child, becomes part of that legacy. I was already so close, until you appeared and ruined everything. But now that you're gone, the rightful place beside Alex will return to me. I will become Alex Everfall's husband. Something inside me snapped. My palm struck his cheek before I even processed the movement. His head jerked to the side. Silence fell between us. I met his gaze, steady and unwavering. Listen to me, Lucian, I said, my voice cold and clear. No matter what you scheme, Alex will never love you. Forget about marrying him. And I will never allow you to go near him again. Without waiting for his reply, I turned and walked away, leaving him standing frozen in the corridor, his plans beginning to crumble. After returning from the hospital, I couldn't stop thinking about what Lucian had told me. The truth pressed against my chest like a heavy weight. Alex, he never even had the surgery. But how could I tell him now? He didn't trust me anymore. To him, I was already a liar, someone unfaithful. If I went to him and said, "You were fooled," would he even listen? Or would he think I was just making excuses? My hand drifted to my belly, resting gently over my child. "Baby?" I whispered softly, my voice trembling. "It's not that your father doesn't like you. He's just being fooled by bad people. Let's help him. Okay?" The tiny life inside me gave me strength. But fear followed right after. "How will we do it?" I murmured. "Who will help us?" Just then, I heard the sound of a car engine outside. The same sound as the night before. Curious, I went to my window. Alex's car. But again, it was already leaving. My heart twisted. If he didn't trust me, if he told me to abort our child, then why was he coming here every night? I placed my hand over my stomach again and gave a trembling smile. "See that, my child? That's your father. But he's really a fool, isn't he?" And then, like a spark of light breaking through darkness, a name came to my mind. Jamie, Alex's personal secretary. Calm, loyal, observant. If anyone could help us, it would be him. "Let's meet our ally tomorrow," I whispered to my baby gently. "He will help us protect your father from bad people. Now sleep. It's already late." That night, I finally drifted into sleep. The next morning, after breakfast, my mother became busy with her housework. I slipped into my room and dialed Jamie's number with slightly trembling fingers. "Hello? Jamie? It's me, Noah. Can we meet today in the afternoon?" There was a pause. "I'm afraid it's not possible today, Mr. Noah." "Jamie, please," I interrupted softly. "It's urgent. It's about Alex. And please don't tell him about our meeting." Silence again. Then finally, "If it's about Mr. Alex, I'll meet you, and I won't tell him." "Where?" "At Star Cafe. 1 p.m. "Understood." Relief washed over me. Hot beverage, Star Cafe, afternoon. I arrived on time. Jamie was already there, sitting neatly, hands folded on the table. Professional as always. I ordered lemon tea for myself and coffee for him. My heart pounded, but I spoke calmly. "Jamie, do you know that I'm pregnant?" Shock flickered across his face. "But how?" "Mr. Alex, he—" "So you know," I said gently. "You know he had a vasectomy. Or at least you believe he did. That's why I need your help." He straightened slightly. "What help do you need, Mr. Noah?" I took a deep breath. "I know you respect Alex, and I know you're loyal to him. That's exactly why I came to you." I told him everything. How Alex accused me. How he demanded I abort the child. How I left the house. How I've been staying with my mother for 2 days. Jamie's gaze lowered, voice barely a whisper. "So that's why he hasn't smiled lately." But I continued. "Yesterday, at the hospital, I met Lucian." His eyes sharpened. "And he told me the truth, that Alex never underwent the surgery. It was all Lucian's manipulation. Every word, every lie planned." Jamie hesitated, disbelief flickering in his expression. But why would he do that? So I told him everything Lucian had confessed. The inheritance, the jealousy, the plan to remove me, to become the one beside Alex. When I finished, silence hung between us. Finally, I said quietly, I know it's hard to believe. Lucian is the brother of Alex's best friend. But I'm not asking you to trust me blindly. Just help me find proof. After that, decide for yourself. Jamie didn't even hesitate. If what you're saying is true, then I will help you. Just then, his phone rang. He glanced at the screen. Mr. Alex is calling. I have to go. He stood, then looked at me sincerely. When I find evidence, I'll contact you. Until then, please stay safe. Both you and your baby. I nodded. Thank you, Jamie. And then we parted. I also returned to my mother's home and tried to live quietly, spending my days helping her with small chores and listening to her talk about my childhood. Sometimes she would laugh while recalling the silly things I used to do, and for a moment the heaviness in my heart would fade. At night, before going to bed, I would sit by the window and gently rub my belly. Good night, my little one, I would whisper. Your grandmother, father, and I love you very much. Then I would kiss my mother good night and lie down, slowly drifting into sleep with thoughts of my baby and the uncertain days ahead. Just like that, 2 weeks quietly passed. But every single night, without fail, I heard the familiar sound of a car engine outside the house. When I looked through the curtains, I always saw the same thing. Alex's car parked under the streetlight, headlights dimmed, engine running softly. Sometimes he stayed there for a long time. Sometimes he only stopped for a minute before driving away again. It felt as if he wanted to come inside, as if he wanted to talk to me, but he couldn't bring himself to do it. I would press my hand over my heart and then to my stomach. Your father is really foolish, isn't he? I would whisper to my baby with a sad smile. He misses us, but he doesn't know how to reach out. And although his accusations still hurt, seeing him there every night made it impossible for me to truly hate him. Instead, I felt even more determined to protect him from Lucian, no matter what it cost me. The first trimester hit me hard, and the morning sickness made me weak. My mother kept asking about Alex, why he hadn't come to visit me when he was going to take me home, and when I planned to surprise him with the pregnancy news. I lied to her again, saying Alex had gone abroad for an important business meeting and would return in a month. Only then did she finally stop asking questions. A whole month passed, yet I still didn't receive any news from Jamie. One night, while I was walking slowly through the courtyard to get some fresh air, my morning sickness suddenly worsened. My head spun, my body lost strength, and everything faded. When I opened my eyes again, I was lying in a hospital bed, and the first thing I saw was my mother scolding Alex harshly. I called out softly, "Mom!" She immediately grabbed my hand, her eyes worried. Are you okay, Noah? How are you feeling now? I'm fine, Mom. Don't worry. I reassured her, then slowly turned my eyes toward Alex. My mother sensed the tension between us and sighed. You two talk. I'll call the doctor to check on you again, she said before leaving the room. Silence filled the air. What are you doing here, Alex? I asked calmly. He looked at me for a moment before answering. I was passing by your mother's house and saw you collapse, so I brought you here. I stared at him. Were you really just passing by? Or did you come every night to see me like you always do? Only to leave without speaking. He fell silent. Then his voice trembled slightly. Noah, you know I can't live without you. I love you so much. Please come back home. I'll raise this child as my own. I'll forgive you for cheating. Just come back. Don't ask anything else. Just stay with me. My heart tightened, but my eyes stayed cold. Who are you forgiving, Alex? I asked quietly. Do you really think that just because you agree to keep this child, your own child from the beginning, I would simply come back and live with you again? He froze. I know you love me, and I don't hate you, I continued softly. But what hurts the most is not the accusations. It's that you never trusted me. Without trust, what meaning does love even have? There's no point living together like that. Go home, Alex. Come back only when you're ready to trust me. and continue this relationship honestly. He hesitated, eyes filled with pain, but eventually turned and left the room. My mother soon returned with the doctor. When she didn't see Alex, her anger flared. Where did he go? How can he leave you alone at a time like this? Is his work more important than you? Mom, it's not like that, I said gently. There's an important meeting he needs to attend. I told him to go. He wanted to stay, but I insisted. Please don't be angry. Her expression finally softened. The doctor checked me and said kindly, You're fine, but avoid stress. It's not good for you or the baby. After being discharged, my mother and I headed home. On the way, she asked, Noah, when are you going back home? During pregnancy, it's better to stay with your partner. I smiled softly. Mom, it's not that I don't want to go back. I just want to stay with you for a while. Alex is busy with work, and his brother's child is also staying with the grandparents. I'll be lonely there. Can't I stay with you, Mom? She held my hand. Why wouldn't you? My house is your house. You can stay as long as you want, my child. I leaned my head on her shoulder, closing my eyes in warmth and comfort. That night, after dinner, I stood by the window for a while, foolishly hoping to see Alex's car again. But this time he didn't come. My heart sank, but I placed my hand gently on my belly and whispered, Good night, my baby. Then I went to sleep. The next day, while I was resting after lunch, my phone rang. It was Jamie. Mr. Noah, he said, his voice serious. I've finished investigating what you asked me to look into, and I found the evidence. Everything you said about Lucian. It's true. The vasectomy surgery was completely fake. Mr. Alex never underwent the procedure at all. Lucian forged the medical records and made Alex believe it happened. My heart stopped for a moment. Jamie continued, voice heavy, and that's not all. I also found evidence that Lucian has been involved in illegal human organ trafficking. He's been making money from it. I was frozen in shock, but I forced myself to stay calm. Jamie, I said quietly, show all the evidence to Alex. You don't need to mention me. Tell him you discovered everything yourself. But why won't you tell him? Jamie asked gently. He should know the truth came from you. I cut him off softly. It's not that I don't want to, but right now he wouldn't believe me. It's better if it comes from you. There was a pause, then Jamie finally agreed. All right, Mr. Noah. There's an important meeting at the office tomorrow. I'll tell him everything tomorrow afternoon. Thank you, Jamie, I whispered. We ended the call. Back then, I had no idea what was waiting for me next. The next morning, I was sitting beside my mother, watching the news like we usually did after breakfast. But then the next headline flashed across the screen, and it felt like a storm had crashed into my world. Breaking news. Mr. Noah Everfall, spouse of business tycoon Mr. Alex Everfall, has allegedly been found cheating. Sources reveal he is pregnant with another alpha's child. My picture appeared on the screen, me standing in the hospital corridor, holding my medical file. My heart stopped. Beside me, my mother gasped. Noah, what is this? Her voice trembled. How can there be news like this about you? My child, what is going on? Tell me honestly. Is Alex treating you badly? Is there really something happening between you two? Her panic made my chest tighten. I quickly switched off the TV and took her hand. Mom, please calm down. It's not what they're saying, I whispered. So I told her everything. From the moment I discovered the pregnancy, to Alex's accusations, to Lucian's lies and manipulation, to the truth I had learned. By the time I finished, my mother was silent. Then tears slowly rolled down her cheeks. How could that man not believe you? She cried softly. This is my fault. I should never have agreed to this marriage. Look at how much you've suffered. I wrapped my arms around her and held her tightly. No, Mom. None of this is your fault. And it's not entirely Alex's either. Things will be okay, I promise. Please don't worry, I said gently, even though my own voice trembled. Eventually, I managed to calm her down and help her lie down to rest. When I was finally alone, the fear I had been hiding crept into my heart. What was going to happen now? How had everything spiraled this far out of control? And why did it suddenly feel like the storm had only just begun. On the other side of the city, Alex was still in the middle of an important board meeting when the news broke. A staff member rushed in and whispered something to him, and within seconds, the room fell silent. Alex's expression darkened. Without caring about the losses the company might suffer or the shocked gazes of the board members, he stood up and walked out of the meeting room. His footsteps were sharp, urgent. The moment he reached his office, he switched on the television. There it was, the same headline, the same photo, Noah, standing in the hospital corridor, pregnant and accused. For a long moment, Alex could not breathe. Even though he still believed the child wasn't his, even though his heart was cracked with betrayal, he still loved Noah. "Jamie," he said quietly, but his voice carried a heavy command. "Clear every rumor. Block every news outlet. Make sure Noah isn't surrounded by reporters. Protect him at any cost." Jamie immediately went to work. Rumors were halted. Articles were removed. Media was pressured into silence. Only after everything was brought under control did Jamie return to Alex's office. He hesitated for a moment, then spoke. "Mr. Alex, forgive me for asking this, but do you really think Mr. Noah cheated on you?" Alex looked exhausted, like he hadn't slept for Jamie. "You know I had a vasectomy. I'm not capable of becoming a father anymore," he said, his voice breaking. "So then, how could that baby possibly be mine?" "Then why?" Jamie asked softly. "Did you protect him anyway? Why remove the news? Why defend him?" Alex closed his eyes. "Because I love him," he whispered. "No matter what happens, I can't stop loving him. He is my everything." Jamie took a slow breath. "Then, why not believe him? Just once?" Alex didn't answer. He couldn't. Instead, Jamie stepped forward and placed a file on the desk. "Please, look at this." Alex opened it, and the world shattered. Forged reports, fake records, Lucian's signature, proof of human organ trafficking. All of it laid bare. His hand trembled. Then he slammed the table, the sound echoing through the office. For a moment, Alex couldn't breathe. The papers in his hands trembled, not from anger, but from fear. Fear that he might have already destroyed the only person who ever loved him. "He begged me," Alex whispered, his voice breaking. "He begged me to believe him, and I." His chest tightened painfully. The memory of Noah crying flashed in his mind, and guilt crashed over him like a wave. What have I done? His anger wasn't just rage. It was guilt. Tears blurred his vision. "It's my fault," he choked out. "Noah begged me to believe him," he cried. "He tried to protect our child, and I accused him. I told him to abort. I threw him out. His voice broke completely. "What do I do now, Jamie? How do I face him? How do I ask forgiveness when I don't even deserve it?" Jamie stepped closer, speaking gently. "Mr. Alex, it wasn't your fault alone. You believed what you were shown. Anyone would. And Mr. Noah understood that. That's why he didn't blame you. Do you know why I started investigating Lucian?" Alex shook his head. "Because Mr. Noah asked me to," Jamie said softly. "Even after everything, he still wanted to protect you. He didn't want you pulled into Lucian's crimes. He loves you more than you realize." Alex covered his face with his hands. "I was meant to protect Noah, yet I was the one who shattered him. And despite what I'd done, he still chose to protect me." Jamie continued, calm but firm. "Right now, the first thing you must do is deal with Lucian. Then go back to Mr. Noah. He deserves the truth and your apology." Alex finally lifted his head. His eyes were no longer confused. They were determined. He called Lucian's elder brother, his longtime friend, Damien Hale, and asked him to come to the office. When Damien arrived, Alex didn't waste time. "Did you know about your brother's schemes?" he asked coldly. His dominant alpha pheromones filled the room. Not threatening, but dangerously controlled. Damien felt the pressure immediately. He knew what it meant. If he lied, Alex would destroy him, his reputation, and his business. Damien swallowed hard and shook his head. "I knew Lucian was unstable," he admitted. But I didn't know he was involved in anything illegal. I had no part in this. Do whatever you want with him. He left without another word. Alex turned to Jamie. Submit everything to the authorities. Yes, sir. By the next day, Lucian Hale was arrested, charged with medical fraud, evidence forgery, and illegal human organ trafficking. But even after justice was done, Alex's heart didn't feel lighter, because the person he needed to face was still waiting, and he had no idea whether Noah would ever forgive him. The next day, I heard on the news that Lucian had been arrested. I had just finished eating the fruit my mother had cut for me when the doorbell rang. When my mother opened the door, Alex was standing there looking weak and exhausted. But my mother immediately started shouting at him. What are you doing here? Why did you come? Haven't you already hurt my child enough? How dare you question my child's character? Did you forget how you begged him to marry you? How you promised to take care of him for the rest of his life and never make him cry? Then why didn't you trust him? Why did you hurt him like this? Alex fell to his knees and couldn't even look my mother in the eyes. Her voice shook, not just with anger, but with heartbreak. Do you know what it's like? She cried. To watch your child cry himself to sleep? To see him hold his stomach and whisper apologies to his unborn baby? Because you didn't trust him? Alex lowered his head even further. Every word felt like a knife. Mother, please forgive me. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have doubted Noah. Please, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I promise I'll never repeat this mistake again. Please allow me to see Noah. I heard the noise from outside and came out. When I saw Alex kneeling in front of my mother, for a second my heart stopped. Alex kneeling. The proud, stubborn alpha, looking small, broken. His shoulders trembled, and for the first time I realized he was terrified of losing me. A part of me thought he deserved it, but another part of my heart didn't want to see him like that, even though I knew this wasn't entirely his fault. So I stopped my mother gently. Mom, please calm down. It's not good for your health. Go inside and finish your fruit. I'll handle this. She looked angry, but she still went inside and left us alone. Then I looked at Alex, still kneeling, head lowered toward the ground. What are you doing here? What do you want from me? I asked coldly. He didn't raise his head. Noah, please forgive me. It was my fault. I should have trusted you. Can't you forgive me and come back home with me? Home, I replied. Are you talking about the same home you threw me out of? The same place where you told me to abort my child? What do you want from us now? It's not like that, he whispered, still not looking at me. What are you looking at the floor for? I'm standing right here. Look at me. Slowly, he lifted his head and finally met my eyes, but he still didn't speak. Tell me, Alex, why didn't you tell me about your vasectomy earlier? He was silent for a moment, then finally answered. It's not like I didn't want to tell you. I didn't know how. I thought that if I told you about the vasectomy, you would leave me. That's why I hid it from you. I never meant to deceive you. I was going to tell you. But before I could, you became pregnant. And then everything spiraled out of control. He looked at me with sad, pleading eyes. But now it doesn't matter anymore, right? You don't trust me. So there's no point in this relationship. You can go. I won't return with you. Noah, please forgive me. Give me one chance to earn your trust back. Please. I turned away, then stopped. Fine. I'll give you one chance. But if you fail to earn my trust back, you have to leave me. He nodded immediately, stood up, and hugged me from behind. I told him to let go, and he did, but he insisted on staying nearby that night. I told him he could sleep on the sofa, and he agreed without arguing. Later, in my room, I placed my hand gently over my belly. Baby, did you see your father today? Isn't he handsome? You're going to be handsome like him too. You know, baby, I whispered, stroking my belly. I already forgave your father the day I learned the truth. My voice trembled. Forgiving was easy. Forgetting the pain wasn't. I can't be too soft on him. You understand me, don't you? What I didn't know was that Alex was standing outside the door, hearing everything. Quietly, he spoke to our baby too. I'm sorry, my child. It's my fault. Alex's voice cracked softly through the door. I don't deserve you or your daddy. But if you allow me, I'll spend my life making sure neither of you ever cry again. If you enjoyed the story, please like and share. It really supports the channel. My beautiful heavenly angels. See you again in the next story.